Namaskar. This is the first Saturday of the month, October, and we are here in the Hindu temple of Lemont. This is a very famous temple and always busy with so many different type of activities. And now that the Navaratri is going on, this is full of the spiritual environment. And here, as usual, I have come to discuss on the Upadesa Sahasri. This is a part of the series, The Fragrance of Vedanta. So now let us begin with this mantra and we will again discuss. Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam Yat Sarva Vishaya Atitam Tasmai Sarmabhide Namaha. Would you like to chant this? Yes. Please chant after me. Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam Yat Sarva Abhishaya Atitam Tasmai Sarvabhide Namaha. I bow down to that all-knowing one, Sarvabhide. Bid is the knowledge, so Sarvabhide, I bow down to that all-knowing one, which is pure consciousness, Chaitanyam. Chaitana is the consciousness. Then which is all-pervading, Sarvagam. Then which is Sarvam, which is all. There is nothing except that. And it is residing in the hearts of all. Sarva Bhuta Guha Shayam. So it is residing in the hearts of all as the consciousness. Tat Sarva Abhishaya Atitam, and beyond all objects of knowledge. I bow down to that. Now, object means something which can be perceived by our external, this Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jiva, Tak, these 5 organs, these external organs. So obviously, this is called the object. Anything which we cannot understand through this 5 thing, that is not Vishaya. And there is only one thing which we cannot perceive, that is our consciousness. This is very peculiar. Without the consciousness, we are nobody. We are dead. But the consciousness, we do not know. We cannot understand. So that is called the Maya. God has created us, this Brahman, it has created us, and it has created the everything, and we are nothing but that Brahman, which is completely free from all fear and suffering. But look at us. We are constantly suffering. Forget about the other beings, the animals, the birds and reptiles, forget about them. The human being also. Even sometimes some people who are really, really educated, very intelligent, very well established in the society, everything is there, but still some mental agony. It is always there. But why? That we do not know. And that's why we go to psychiatric, we go to doctors, we go to different places, we like to change the place. So many ways we try, but sometimes for a little period of time it is okay, but permanently it is not. And not only that, we are carrying this suffering life after life. Suppose this life is over, okay, the next life again I will start fresh. No. The same thing, the old thing will. My body has become old and I discard the body, but the mind which was having all the old impressions, that you cannot discard, you have to carry it. And this is a very peculiar thing. how to overcome that? Some people, they're frustrated, they don't care about it. They think, okay, just leave 1 or 2 days, try to enjoy and then die. But that is not the way out. When they die, again something comes. That is not the way out. So what is this? So we are discussing from the one after another, or the Vedanta that we are discussing, and the fragrance of Vedanta, so many other subjects also we have studied and will be studying. Now here we find that the Upadesa Sahasri, in the 1000 advices that the Shankaracharya is giving, he is giving the same old thing in a different way. Now, I was observing that a child is not at all agreeing to take some medicine. Then what they will do? Then child is very much attracted to drink some soft drinks and something. So they purchase the soft drink, the bottle, then cut that bottle, parents, so they have to, and then put that medicine inside it. And the child is very happy thinking that I am drinking that. He drank it. And of course he understood afterwards this is not the same taste. So, but anyway, somehow you have to feed. Otherwise, the medicine, if it is not going, the child will suffer. The parents are concerned to give that medicine to that baby, child. Similarly, the people like Shankaracharya and others, the acharyas, it is nothing for them. They got the realization. They were completely free from all this. They could go away. But no, they are coming back. Why? As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Shankaracharya kept that army, that ahamkara, that is vidya ahamkara. Otherwise, body won't survive. Now, when we get the realization of the Brahman, the Atman, what happens? It happens like this: I forget my body. I forget all my desires. So, mind is also not there. So, when body and mind is not there, what is there? Only consciousness. And when consciousness is only present and no concern about the body, you won't eat, you won't drink, you won't sleep, you will never care about the body. So, what will happen? You will die. So, usually, the ordinary people, those who are realizing the Brahman, they die within 21 days. It says like that. Because they do not maintain the body. What happens? So, other people, they force them to eat and drink to keep them alive, as it happened in the Swami Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So, this always happened. So, this Brahman, it was realized, then I have to come back. Why? Like a parent. Then the compassion comes. Oh, what will happen to these children, to these people? They are not understanding. They are refusing to take the medicine. So, I have to get some idea to feed them medicine. Like this, parents, they developed an idea to feed the medicine to that. Similarly, he wrote all the 11, the Upanishads, that everything, commentary over there. Then he composed so many poems also, stotras on the gods and goddesses. And his life was full with so many actions, so many miracles he had shown. So even then, he thought, okay, let me compose something which one book will contain everything. So Upadesa Sahasri, one after another he is going. Today we will be discussing these titles I give, it is not here in the book. The do not see, be a witness. When you read, then from there we find that the instruction is the fighting between the mind and the consciousness. Then Shankaracharya very nicely putting it like a dialogue between the mind and the soul. And last time when we were reading, I gave that, what is the mind? What is consciousness? It is the intrinsic, natural is the knower. That is the consciousness. We don't develop anything or we don't reduce anything in the consciousness. It is as it is. And where from we get it? We just get it because when we develop a mind, and in the mind there is a buddhi, and the buddhi is getting the reflection of that consciousness. So this is the Vedanta, reflection of the consciousness. And if the reflection can give us so much of power, think about the original one. So that is the idea. But the mind is not the consciousness. Mind is receiving the reflection, but it is not the consciousness. As we always give the example of the moon is giving the light. Majority of the people in those days, as because there was no light, so they used to utilize the moonlight also. And when there is no moonlight, like that Chanda Grahan, Surya Grahan, the Grahana, that means the eclipse is there, there is no light. So they always say that temple should be closed. Why? No, this is a moon eclipse, so temple should be closed before it is dark. Look at it, dark. Because in those days there was no light. Modern time it is not necessary. But it has become a tradition. So our Pandits, they say, no, it is in the moon, you have to close. Previously there was no light and all people from different families, they come. If something happened in the temple, who will take the responsibility? So obviously they told, no, this time, no. So this was the idea. Now we think, no, it is a tradition it has become. So whatever, good and bad, no problem. But the thing is this, when there is no light, but now moon, if we start thinking, I am giving the light, that will be the problem. Moon is not giving the light. It is the reflected light of the sun. Moon should be humble. Exactly the same way, if we are humble, when you are very intelligent, and we can write books, we can discover many scientific things, we can do this thing, that thing, but I am humble because the intellect that is expressing through me is not me. You are spiritual. That's all. And nothing else. If the moon is boasting, this is, I am giving you the light, then it will be difficult because some people, they think it is moon's light, but it is not. It is the power of the sun. Similarly, the consciousness is reflecting on the mind, and a part of mind is called buddhi, the intellect, and then that reflection is so much lighting, and we are thinking, I am that. This is the ego. Where from the ego comes reflection. This much only, if we understand. And we understand, when we listen to this, we understand.
It's Mara. Mara is doing
The Mara and then Maya. The Mara is the term that the Buddhists they use, and the Maya, this, and this in the Christian they say the temptation, the Saturn, the devil is giving the temptation. It's the same thing. What is this? This is the ego actually. I don't like to say, sometimes the father is very famous, but the son is not happy. Why? All people will say, oh, his son. And he feels, oh, I insulted. Why all the time this is that? What is there? It is lucky that you are born of that person. But no, I should be having my own identity, and so this is the problem. So all the time the reflection is coming. Then what is the way out? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said in one way, get free from the ego. In Bengali he said, Ami mole ghuchibe janjal. If you can remove the ego, I am giving the light, I am the intelligent, I am rich, I am educated, just you are suffering. The moment you remove that, what remains? Consciousness. So that is exactly what. Who says I? It is mind. And who says don't do that? It is consciousness. Both of them within us. So we constantly fight is going on, and sometimes we call Ma Durga to help us to fight with the devil, because it is not under our control. The devil have become very powerful. So Ma Durga, please come. And what is this Ma Durga? She is the combination of all the power of gods and goddesses. That means all purity combined together is Ma Durga. So the Hindus, they always give everything through stories. So it becomes very easy for people to remember, and if there is no celebration, you will forget it. That's why in the spiritual world, all the time, in all religion, there will be a lot of celebrations. And in some of the ashramas, like Hollywood ashram, that today is this day, very auspicious day. 24 hours, Jai Durga. The people, they will come and they will sign the name, and from morning 6 to 7, a group of people, Jai Durga, Jai Durga, Jai Durga, and then they are tired, they go up, another group of people will come, 24 hours, the next day morning 6. Why? Because you have to go on keeping them busy with that. So these are all the preparation levels. And when you have already covered that, you have known the truth, then there is no problem. So one is the Dvaitic way, dualistic way, another is Advaitic way. What is the Advaitic way? This much. I am not the original. Whatever I am having, it is the reflection, like the light of the moon. So it says like this, that what is mind? The mind is subtle, but can be observed by its changes. We can understand the mind. Today morning, I was not feeling well because I received a phone call and something happened in that so and so. I knew him. He is now in hospital. So I am not happy today. The mind is changing, but the consciousness will never change. This is the difference.
So who created the mind?
The mind is the creation of the nature. It is a nature, and that's why the nature we call mother, Prakriti. And some people will call it the nature, some people call it the Prakriti, and some people call it Maya. And the Hindus, they developed the conception of mother. So Mother Durga, Mother Kali, Mother Saraswati, because it is creating and sustaining. Mother gives birth and also support the child to survive. So that idea. But it is not lady or male or female, nothing like that. And this is a Shakti. The power that, and the mind that was created by the God. And it is a sum total of that mind is called Maya. And the same Ahamkara, Upohita Chaitanya, is Jiva. Maya, Upohita Chaitanya, is Ishvara. What is Ishvara? Ishvara is also not the final. Ishvara is a created being. And how it was created? The something you have to give to hold. And the Lord, God, the Supreme, gave him the Maya. So it is consciousness, but covered with a huge quantity of ego. That is called Maya. And that is Ishvara. And the little part of it, individually they have given. So there is a huge quantity of sugar. Now from that sugar, little portion they have taken, and they have made different type of sweets. The sweets are also sugar, and huge that quantity of sugar stock over there is also sugar. So it is like the Maya is the whole quantity, and then portion is coming to us, that is called our buddhi and mana and ahamkara and all that. So what is mana? We can observe it. How we can observe it? It is subtle. Sometimes I can observe my hand, I can see it, I can touch it, I can smell it. But my mind is subtle, so we cannot do that, but we can observe it. Like, you can't see the air, but when you see that the trees, they are moving and all the leaves are moving, you can feel, or the air is flowing from east to west by that way. But you cannot see the air. But you can see, it's tell that no, air is there. So that is the feeling. Mind is also like that. I am happy, I am feeling dull, I am feeling sleepy, all mind. So when we can observe the object, that is limited. But for the consciousness, there is no limit at all. So what is consciousness? And it says everything revealed through this consciousness. But nothing can reveal the consciousness. Everything is revealed through the consciousness, but nothing can. But we have to find that consciousness. That is called sadhana. That is called austerity. And all this is nothing but asesha buddhi shakshitvat. The buddhi ultimately go to that and understand whatever I am thinking, doing is actually nothing. So it becomes witness. And the moment it becomes witness and just observing what is going on, he knows that it is all the changes, again something will. One of our Swamiji, he used to teach us, the novices, brahmacharis, and he was the president of the Advaita Ashram. So some problem, something, we used to go to him that this is happening, that is happening. And he used to tell, this shall also pass. So don't be so much worried. THIS, this shall also pass. Now the problem has come, it will go away. Everything will be all right again. So don't get agitated in that way. So calm down your mind, observe that, and whatever possible, try to solve the problem. That's all. That is the way we have to do. Now, this it says, always be a witness. Buddho drishyam bhavet buddho, satyam nasti viparyaye, drashta yasmat sada drashta, tashmat dvaitam nabidyate. In the 7th chapter, 5th verse, it says, I am not reading all the verses. Only from here and there I am choosing. Buddho drishyam bhavet buddho. As long as intellect is there, so long objects of the knowledge will exist. Now when we die, what happens? There's a great function is going on. And a man came, and God forbid, sitting in the audience, he suddenly collapsed. He's sitting over there. No one could understand that he has passed away. He is sitting like this. Perhaps he's just closed his eyes but for him, the dead man, this program, this function has no value. Nothing. But he is present there. He is occupying a chair. But for him, nothing. So buddho drishyam bhavet buddho satyam nasti viparjaye. As long as intellect is there, and so long object of knowledge will exist. But viparjaye, when intellect is absent, there remains no object. So duality ceases. Because the real consciousness is always remain present as witness. Hence, do not see, be a witness by stealing your mind. Our problem is our own mind. That is our problem. Our mind is again the only source through which we can get the ultimate, this Brahma Jnana. Without the help of the mind, we cannot reach to that Brahma Jnana. But because of the mind, we are not reaching over there. This is a very peculiar problem. The mind is our enemy, but we have to take the help of our enemy to go beyond the enemy. Then the Durga Puja is coming, and as you were asking who created the mind, everything from God. Hindus, they believe everything from God. Now, the Lord Vishnu, from the dualistic point of view, Lord Vishnu is the first. So he is all pervading God. Vishnu means Vistareti Vishnu. He is all pervading. Now this Vishnu, he thought, let there be the whole creation. I like to enjoy seeing people doing this and that. So he thought. The moment he thought, immediately from his navel came out the Brahma. So he created the Brahma, the firstborn. He gave the Brahma two things. One is knowledge, another the power to utilize that knowledge. I have the knowledge, but I don't have the power. So I cannot do anything. So suppose I know that this is a problem and I can solve the problem, but I am not empowered to do that. Nothing. So Brahma was getting both. The one is the four Vedas, so four heads. The Hindus, they give all the symbol. And we have taken that symbol so seriously, and we think the Brahma is having four heads. He is not having any four heads. He is a normal. Only thing, he is having all the knowledge. The knowledge is the Veda, and Veda is four. So obviously, four heads, the symbol of all knowledge. Okay. Now, Brahma is also having the Maya, that is Sattva, Raja, Tama, these qualities. Through these qualities, he was creating. So how he will create? First he will think, na? So now this building, who is creating? The engineers are there, he is doing that. But before the engineers come to do this, there is another person, architect. Architect will think, oh, this should be like this should be like that, here this, here that. So architect means meditation. The Brahma was meditating and he was going on planning how he will do it. And how he was planning? Because the previous creation, this is not the first creation. And from when the creation started, that also we do not know. So he was remembering the first creation, how it happened. Sometimes the ladies, they will call the mother, I am going to prepare this particular dish, but I don't know what are the ingredients I should use. The mother gives the information from India. Put this, put that, and this lady is going on doing. And by that way also she is creating. So similarly, Brahma was meditating and she was trying to get that idea of how things happened in the past. Now he was observed, in that meditation as a completely. Now from the 2 years of the Lord Vishnu, that some darts were there, from there came two terribly powerful, the Asura, the Madhu and Kaitava. They came from the ear. And they were also from God. But God didn't create them directly. They were created. Of course, God's willing was there. They came. Madhu and Kaitava. What is this Madhu and Kaitava? Gossip. And because from the ear it comes, it will never die. Once you say something about some people, and then, oh, I was not knowing, I just said, but it will go on. Next generation will also say, you know what happened? That man. It will go on and on. That is why it is terrible. If you create a gossip, it is permanent. And that's why those who are creating the gossip, they go to the Naraka. Naraka means the last hell. Why it is permanent? Someone is going on creating the same thing. So this is terrible. They say, never ever say, do that. So this thing, and it caused suffering. So anyway, these two came out, and in the beginning itself, they a destruction. Hey, why that man is sitting over there, and we are standing here? Go, let us go and kill him. So they wanted to go reach to that Brahma, and Brahma was scared, if they are coming to me, how can I fight with them? Because my thing is meditation. And so he prayed to the Vishnu, oh Lord, please get up. Lord got up and he was fighting with them. And it says, as is always in our, there's a 5,000 years they fought. Not like, maybe 5 hours. And they got as if so intense, the 5 hours became 5,000. Then after that, God also became tired. Hey, what is it? I cannot kill you. And they also said, so proud they were. Yes, yes, you are a good fighter. We are happy that we could fight with you. And there is nothing. So it is an engagement, we are fighting. And then Lord started thinking, what I will do? Because I cannot. And then the Maya came, the power of God. And it came and told, they are not separate from you. You cannot kill yourself. You are eternal. Hence, this Madhu and Kaitaba, though they are bad, they are also eternal because of you. You have to separate them. How to separate them? So that I will do. Then she went and entered into the minds of these two and gave them ego. And asked Vishnu, you better ask them how to kill them. Vishnu asked, I am so happy that you are so powerful, but how to kill you? Then they themselves told, oh, it is not so easy to kill us when there is no light, no day, no night at that time. There is no land, no water over there, and no weapon only with that. So the Vishnu told, okay, now I know that. So on his thigh he placed them, and with his nails he tore them out. And it was the not day, not night at that particular junction. This is called Sandhi. The Sandhi Puja. Sandhi Puja is so important because of that. At that time they were slain. So these are the stories, but through the stories the teaching comes that it is the ego that separates us from God. And when we are separate from God, the God gives us punishment. I am coming out of God, but God has good and bad. I took the bad, so God gave me the punishment. Again, it went back to the source. So that is what goes on. Here it says, see, buddhi and the Atma, the Chaitanya, the Chetana. Then buddhi and Chetana, these are the two things. Chetana is constant, buddhi is not. But buddhi is powerful. Which you will choose? Then it says it is better you go to the Chetana. If you go to the Chaitanya, then there will be no problem. So it says, Buddho drishyam bhavet buddho, satyam nasti viparjayet, drashta yasmat sada drashta, tashmat dvaitam na vidyate. There is even no two, because you are the observer, just that. Drashta, the consciousness, sada drashta, always consciousness. There is no two. And when there is no two, there is no fighting. Even the two, the brother and sister, if they are there in the house, they will fight. And two sisters, they will fight. Whatever. If the moment there are two, there will be problem. But when he is one, with whom he will fight? There is no one. So that is the yesterday one couple, the lady was shouting, and the gentleman, elderly, almost 80. He said, then another person, oh, why you are not replying? It's not necessary, because after a few years I won't be there. Let us shout and practice alone. I am going to die after a few years. Then to whom she will shout? So let her practice with that. That's why I am not giving any reply, as if I am not there, but you go on practicing and shouting, so time will pass, and by that way you are engaged. So this is called Shakshi. When the moment that gentleman said, he said in a funny way, but I felt this is the Shakshi. I observed that man is talking to me, or maybe abusing me, but I am looking at his form. Oh, he is angry, he is pointing the finger, and the language, the throw, and all that. And as if you are seeing a movie. He is telling all those to you, but you are not accepting that. As an observer, you are just looking at that. How funny it will be. He is tired by shouting, but you just enjoyed how the eyes are big and the shouting and the. And you are observing, Shakshi. So it is the Shankaracharya, he said, don't go to the mind. Mind is receiving all those words, abusive words, and reacting. You also become angry. You fight back. Don't do that. Be a Shakshi, completely observing and enjoying it. Whatever is happening in this world, just enjoy it.
It's like your hand is hurt,
Mm.
and your mind telling you, hey, it's a pain, it's hurting. Otherwise, your mind, you don't know nothing.
Even
Same
then,
thing.
even then, there was a great the personality, Swami Turiyanandaji, direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. So he was having a carbuncle at the back, and he was at that time in the North India, and that is Rishikesh and in these places. So he came down to, I think, to Lucknow or some big city. The doctors told you need operation, but we are sorry, we are not having anesthesia. So we cannot operate it without anesthesia. You know what he said? He was a yogi. He said, give me little time. And when I say, you operate. Don't worry. I am not going to getting the pain. And after some time, he said, now you can operate. And he asked a mirror also how they are operating. He is observing what is happening. He was lying down and he was observing what is happening. No pain at all. It's also possible. It's also possible. Because that way also you are taking out the mind from the body. Another funny thing happened. This is an inspiring story. So one of our Swamiji again, and they were very recently, so in Calcutta hospital, in our hospital, then he was very much afraid of taking the needles, the injections. So one nurse came in the morning, that time the injection, and he told, hey, wait, let me take out the mind and then. As because he's a monk and the Ramakrishna Mission Hospital, so nurse were waiting. But every time she is approaching, no, I'm trying to take out the mind. And 15 minutes, 20 minutes, nurse has other duties too. So she went back and reported to the matron. Matron reported to the senior Swamiji. Then ultimately to the in-charge Swami, Gaunanandaji. Afterwards, he became the president of. The Gaunanandaji was a very wonderful person. And he said, okay, let us go. The 2-3 Swami they came. Oh, Swami, you are withdrawing the mind. That's wonderful. We will also help you. And then he told the young Swamis, hold his hand and feet. The two, they hold the feet and two, they hold the hands. And then he asked the nurse, now push the injection and let the Swami practice taking out the mind. After the injection, he told, now it is time, you try that. No, it is not so easy. Only a yogi can do. But it is possible. So they say it is possible. And self never ceases to exist. It is ever present, but buddhi, intellect, due to its modification, changes, hence is not the real. Anything takes the modification, changing, is not real. And that real, the word means, and sometimes they will say Satya. Satya means the real, never changes. Swami Vivekananda called the India as Satya. Hey Satya. Satya means it's not the land, it's not the geographical boundary, but the truth that is discovered over there. It never changes. So he addressed the land, India country, as Satya. So this Satya, this is the unchanging thing, is that it is the consciousness. Sri Shankara in the chapter 8, narrating a dialogue between the self and the mind. Very interesting way. O mind, the Shankara is telling, O mind, chiti sarupe swata eva me mate. Chiti sarupe swata eva me mate. I am by nature consciousness itself. Chiti means Chetana, Sarupe, that is my nature. I am the consciousness by nature, and being the self, that is my opinion, me mate, rasadi yogas taba mohakarita. all the enjoyments and sufferings and everything happening because of you, oh mind.
Creation.
All the changes that is happening because of you. So he is blaming the mind. I am consciousness, I never change. But because of you, I feel that I am changing. But no, it is delusion. Created by you, wrongly reflected on me. Ato nakinchit eva chestitam me phalam bhavit sarva vishesha hanata. I am free from all attributes. Attributes means it is a good, it is bad, it is at that time, all these attributes are there. It is not. I am free from that. Your defects do not affect me, the self. The self is addressing the mind. See, it is all that people think that I am doing. Now the question is, who am I? I am not this body. I cannot be the mind also. So who that is the consciousness. Now I am associated with the body, mind and consciousness, particularly the Western the philosophy, they always mix up these three as one. They say it is only body and mind. Psycho-physical being, they say. As a human being, psycho and physical. As a mental and physical. But beyond that is consciousness. That we discovered and we said, beyond these two there is another. Without that, nothing can be there. So this consciousness. So some people, particularly the Vedantin, they think that physical body, the mind and the soul are three separate factors of a personality. Completely three separate. For some others, there's a Western thing, the knowledge, the physical body is everything. They do not acknowledge the existence of the mind, forget about the soul. They don't care about this mind also. The mind is just feeling, but the main is body, body, body. If you notice the sculpture, that is also gives the depict the philosophy. Eastern culture, they don't go so details of the body. But the Greek culture, exactly photogenic, as if you have taken a photo. So when they are painting a human being, exactly that human being. And their sculpture also, the muscles, the body and everything in that way. But we don't do that. Our main thing are the eyes. If you notice, that main thing was the eyes. And the eyes should go beyond the body. The more eyes is coming out of the body. That is the drawing. Why this peculiar thing? Because it is the Shakshi. Eyes means you are observing, you are seeing. So it is beyond the body, and how in the drawing, in the painting, they are giving it, that if you notice that, I have forgotten that the artist's particular name, and it goes beyond the body. Mind is, face is here ending, but the body is going out of the face. It looks like peculiar, but no, it is the philosophy that is depicting. What is the philosophy? The eyes observing, it is much better and bigger than the body and mind. But these Europeans, those who follow mainly the Greek art, they will never do that. So because they are very, very body oriented. If you notice over here, people are very, very body oriented. Even in the noontime also they are running. Noontime, all the time they are running. Whenever they are getting some time, they are running. Until go and sleep noontime after the food, that is the good time to sleep. But they won't. And they are very body oriented. In India, it is not. Here, if you are the President of America, you must be physically very fit. So they observe how he is coming down from the plane and how he is walking. In India, if he is on the wheelchair, that is also good. No problem. And because it is the brain, it is not the body, that you want. The leader should be very intelligent, very thoughtful, very capable to think, to solve the problem. But physically, Whether he is very capable or not, it doesn't matter. Other people are there, isn't it? If you notice all the time, Atul Beri Bajpayee, he is walking. No one thought about his physical. Of course, if he was physically good, he could continue for some more time. But whatever, we don't care about the physical body. We are careful about his thoughts, his planning, his ideas. That is main important.
I got a question. We have also created Ganeshji, right? Ganeshji has smaller eyes, not bigger eyes, but a bigger body. So how do you explain that?
No, the afterwards, the original, if you anything original, if you see, even if you go to that the cave where the Buddhist artists they drew that, the beautiful figures, and mostly eyes are a little bigger. If you the original, the main thing is afterwards the influence of the different culture came. Naturally, it changed. The modern art it will be completely like our Western art. The modern sculpture completely like the Western art. But it was not like that. Durga Puja you will find, and both it goes still, and particularly in Bengal, you will find that they call a Durga should be in one place. Belur Math Durga is not separate. And Belur Math Durga, the eyes are very big, very prominent. And then the face should be very nice to look and all that. But it is all in the same structure. Outside, the ordinary people, those who are worshipping, they give importance to that figure. So the Ashura should be very muscular body, and the lion is really, really ferocious, and people go to see that, not much devotion, but to see that the display of the things. So this is the difference between the culture. But they don't think much of that, but if we think that we will understand, anything that we do, always do with the philosophy. The philosophy is the first thing, and that directs our. So it says, then we will conclude now. For some other people, it is only the body. According to Vedanta, mind, which is known in Sanskrit, the antakarana, is our internal instrument. The internal instrument, as we have the 5 external instruments, we have internal instrument. Now is giving how we will know that we have a mind. We can see through the eyes, we can smell through the nose, we can touch through the skin, and like that the 5 sense organs we can understand. But what about the feeling? And the feeling, like when you are antakaran, if we see internal organs, what about the happiness? What about the hope? What about the fear? What about the pride? What about the hatred? All this in the mind only. Physically you are quietly sitting, but a person has come, you are looking at him, but you are not liking him at all. That is a feeling, but you are not expressing. So that means something extra is there, that proves the mind is there. Another is, we see the dream, that is also, it proves that mind is there. Dream also, in the body we cannot dream. We dream is in the mind. Thoughts is the mind. So they are giving the example. Again, soul is distinctly separate than the body and the mind. It is the soul, the self, the Atman, whose power the mind and body is functioning. It is ever free, and hence no question are bound by body and mind. And I will read this. The 8th chapter, 3rd verse, it says, Sadacha bhuteshu sama asmi kevalo, yathacha kham. Now, sadacha bhuteshu, sada means ever, bhuteshu in the being, samoshmi, I am the same, kevalo means pure. I am pure in every being, and I am present all the time, like Khang. Khang means the ether, Khang means the space. Now this Akasha, or the space, as it is present everywhere it is there. Now in this room also Akasha is there. Inside the body is also Akasha is there. Outside it is Akasha is there, and all the time it is there. Similarly, the consciousness is also present every time. Sarvagam, now he is saying, who am I? the giving some of the qualities which we can understand. Sarvagam, all pervading, Aksharam, imperishable, Shivam, auspicious, Nirantaram, homogeneous, Nishkalam, partless, Akriyam, actionless, Param, the supreme Atman. So I, the self, is ever present in all beings as the ether. O mind, come and rest in me and be the witness. The self is asking the mind to come, and instead of acting, you better take rest. A man gets liberated from ignorance, the cause of fear, and more free from desire. This is free from the grip, and it is always happy. Now, what is the goal of our all religious life, religious practices? Happiness. It is happiness. Yesterday, one couple, after practicing here, one Navaratri, when they came to meet me, I saw them exhausted. I told, are you happy or not? But they exhausted, whole the 6 hours we were here. I told, don't, because the result should be happiness. If the result is not happiness, then it's better come out and take some walking and then again go and sit. And just because it is the practice, your practice over there, no, keep in mind what is the goal. That is when we come to the temple, why we come over there? Because the happiness. So we must be keeping in mind, I have come over here, I am donating money, I am donating my time, I am doing everything. Ultimately, I like to be happy. And if I am not happy, something wrong in my practice. So I have to rectify that. Maybe some people around whom I do not like, but whatever it may be, my ultimate goal is happiness. So I have to understand how to live over here. I cannot leave the temple. I have to come over there. This is my source. But at the same time, there are some people in the temple with whom I cannot go along. Okay, I will adjust in such a way so that I don't get disturbed with them, but I get the happiness. The whole life is like that. Marriage is nothing but happiness. And after that, if I am not happy, then why this marriage? The sannyasa, the life of these monks, for happiness. If after that, if I am not happy, then why this life for? For everything it should be, the goal is happiness. And I have to understand how can I get that happiness.
Creation of mind.
So the ultimate happiness, eternal happiness will be if I can think that I am the witness, I am the consciousness, and nothing happens on me. It happens on my mind. So the mind is disturbed, but I am not. That much. That is the path of Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic knowledge path. So thank you, friends. The questions are there? Okay.
Ananta Swami is asking, Guruji, when we are Sakshi Bhutam, without any reaction, sometimes in the material world, reaction is necessary.
Oh no, that is, of course you should. Of course you should. So now the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said that when it is necessary, you must hiss. Otherwise, people will think that you are just jellyfish. They will come and work on you. No, you should not. You know, if you don't, I don't know whether you know Hindi or not. In Hindi, they say, क्या मैं मंदिर का घंटा हूँ आता जो भी आते बजा के चले जाते हैं. In the temple there is always and the bell is there. Usually people come and ring that to announce the God that I have come. It is not necessary, but they do this. But anyway, no. You should have the personality. But the ultimate, the religion, it says, if you are attached with the reactions, please try to understand this. If you, the consciousness, is attached with the reactions, then you will suffer. So that is the reason, though apparently you are behaving other way, but inside you should behave that you are free from all these actions. That is the. Thank you. Any other question? Okay. Thank you.
Swamiji, when you say that mind is everything, that means the mind is the creation of happiness, mind is the creation of your sorrows and everything. If you're holding on to something for a longer time, the mind is doing it, you're not doing, consciousness is not doing. But how to fix your mind?
And fifth mind. The first thing we should know, the consciousness that we are talking about, it is the source of happiness. From the consciousness all we have come, and in the Taittiriya Upanishad and other places it says, the anandeva khalu imani bhutani jayante. Where from we have got? From God. What is God? Ananda, happiness. And how you know that? The three things always, if you notice, in all beings, the three things are there. One, we don't like to die. We want to know. And we want happiness. So obviously, when all the three things are present in all beings, there must be the common source of creation. Otherwise, why it will happen like that?
We are looking for.
Now the happiness is the ultimate goal. Where happiness happens? In the mind. But that happiness is temporary happiness. Just your son came after a long period of time, you are happy. Then after 5 days he says, my vacation is over, I have to go back. Again unhappy. But when you go to the source, the consciousness, it is eternal happiness. That is the difference. And now to control the mind, there are so many varieties of paths suggested. Like you can work, help others without expecting anything. That will give you happiness. You can meditate on God constantly, withdrawing your sense organs from the sense objects. That will give you happiness.
So when you say you don't see the God, how do you focus on God? Or you take the image of God, what your mind has planned it, or you focus on yourself?
Yes. So when we talk about God, God can be seen. Because God is an object. God is not permanent. But Brahman is not an object.
Yeah.
And so forget about Brahman right now, but the God. Whichever God you like. That's why in the Hinduism, so many varieties of gods and goddesses.
Yeah.
Other religion, only one God. Whether you like or not, the only one coat you have to put on. And that is why it says that the God has so many varieties. Like you love Krishna, or Sri Ramchandra, or Durga. Now, according to your choice, and you put that and put your mind and soul on that, you are praying to that God, you are cooking for that God, constantly, that God, that image is helping you to withdraw your mind from other objects. So you get the concentration. Like you are sitting and trying to meditate on something, maybe a light. So you are withdrawing, I should not hear any sound. I am not going to smell. So that reaction should not be there. That is called path of meditation. That is also difficult. But the duality is very easy. That's why in the duality, there are again 5 different ways you can pray. The mothers, they love the children, the Yashoda. And she loves the very baby Krishna. She never cared for the grown-up Krishna, baby Krishna. The baby Krishna, he cannot help himself. I have to take him for bathing, for food, for clothing. The mother is engaged constantly, but for God. And obviously, though she is doing everything materialistic, cooking food, but for God, the other things are constantly going away. And the moment that happens, you fix the mind on God, it becomes pure. That way you go to that happiness, dualistic way. Very easy. So let us say, yes.
Just for example and maybe for story's sake, you mentioned that Brahmaji, when he was asked to create, so he thought, and this thought was previous ones. So it almost negates the theory of creation. So it has been almost, it is just coming, going, unmanifest, manifest, unmanifest.
It goes on.
It goes on. So it almost negates the theory of creation.
The creation, it is not. That's why Swami Vivekananda used the word projection.
Yes.
The creation means something new which was not before, that I am creating. But we use the word creation because we do not know what happens in the past. This is something new for us. But Swamiji said the creation is eternal. We do not know. Hindus are bold enough to say we do not know. So when the question came, when the first creation came, then he said Hindus are bold enough to say we do not know. Because you cannot say the first creation. The moment you say this is the first creation, that means you are making the age of God. The God was created on such and such time, and He created. This universe is created by God, and that means you have to finalize this is the creation time of God, but God is eternal. So that's why they say don't care about that, it is all projection. But when you are here, go out of this circle, birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Go out of this circle. So let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.